So you downloaded the HMW mod, Modern Warfare 2 Remastered mod, and now you want to know how to set up your very own server on this modded game client. In today's video, that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do. It is super simple. It's super easy. All you got to do is follow along step by step in the video, and I'm going to show you exactly what to do. So without further ado, let's jump straight. So you've downloaded the zip folder. There are going to be a couple installers here. I did include Notepad++, as well as the .NET hosting, which is what you're going to need to install onto your computer before you can start this. So if you don't have Notepad, if you do not have Notepad++ already, I do recommend installing that. It's going to help editing scripts. It's going to help editing the configuration files of the server much easier. It will make your life so much easier. .NET hosting is something that you are going to need as well. So go ahead and just install both of those before you do anything, and then you're going to have the server default folder here. So we're going to go ahead and take that to our desktop. Now, like I said, this is going to be modified to what I have in my server. It just makes it a little bit easier. The map rotation gets a little bit easier. So basically the only thing that you need to do, what we're going to do is we're going to take all three of these folders and we're going to drag them into the root folder where HMW mod lives. So if that is under Modern Warfare Remastered, because remember, you did need the full version of Modern Warfare Remastered to get both of these mods, that's where it's going to be under your Steam apps, Common, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare Remastered. So go ahead and take these three and drag them over. That's going to be from the folder that you downloaded, the server default folder. And once we have those into our folder, this is exactly what you need to do. So now I'm running two different ones. This is my H1M server. This is the HMW server here, server default. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open this up and we're going to edit with Notepad++. So here is our server default here. Server port 27016. We're just going to go ahead and leave that as is. Here is the game path CD. This should work. This should work so long as the bat file that's going to start the server is in the game folder. You should be good. So we've got this. We've got our bat set up. It should be ready to go right off the rip. Again, do not change your port from 27016. You can leave it as that. Now, there are probably going to be some conflicting issues. You will 100% of the time be able to join your server, but not 100% of the time is it going to show up on the server list without fail. Sometimes it's going to take a while to start the server. Sometimes it's going to take a while for it to populate onto the list, yada, yada. But so long as you don't care too much about people joining your server, if you did want them to join, the only thing that you would have to do is change this from 27016 to 27017. It's quite literally as simple as that. And then when you go to port forward, you would port forward 27017 instead of 27016. That's the issue there is because the game actually runs off the port 27016. So there is going to be, there's a little bit of overlap, a little bit of gayness going on there. But our batch folder is done. Next thing that we're going to do is we are going to go into our server default, the configuration file. Now, I did misspeak a little bit in the beginning. So you need to find the main folder here. The server default, the configuration file is going to go under the main folder right here. Again, this is in the root directory of Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, where your HMW mod lives. Go into the main folder. You're going to take server default. You're going to move it into main. Okay. And then all that you have to do now, double click to open that. Here is our server default. So just a little bit about what I do have going on in my configuration here. I'm going to kind of go over it just a little bit. So first and foremost, this is going to be the name of the server. Feel free to change it to whatever. 4x XP enabled. This is going to be the message of the day. So it's going to show up on the screens of the players inside your game. I just have this because I've been hosting a quadruple XP server for quite a while now. Your max players 18, do not go above that. You can go below that as low as you want, but do not exceed 18. It will break the server. Set SCR XP scale. So this is going to be your XP scale. So for example, if we have 1, that is the normal rate of XP. 2 is going to be double XP. 4 is going to be quadruple XP, obviously. You can only go up to 4. Do not exceed 4. It will break the server. But there's your double XP, quadruple XP, or normal XP scale right there. Set SV LAN only 0. This is only if you want a local area server. But I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you probably don't. If you do, you can set this to 1, and it will only be hosted on your local network, so nobody else will be able to join but you. Okay, server key does not matter. You can leave that blank. Here is your basic configuration right here. The password, if you want to password protect the server, this is where you would put the password. So I could do bathtub. Bathtub would be the password for anybody who wants to join. Pretty much everything else here you don't need to touch, like I mentioned, unless you are planning on hosting a serious server that's going to be up, 24/7 for the public. Private slot settings, we can just go ahead and leave this here. SCR nuke ends game 0. I'm going to get into that just a little bit later today, but I am going to include some scripts that I have put into my HMW server, just some quality of life type things. We are going to touch on that when we get to the scripts part, but nuke ends game 0. Basically, this is going to either end the game when a nuke gets called in, which you would set that value to 1, or 0, so the nuke does not end the game, and it's more of a Moab style from like MW3. Hardcore here, configuration, if you want your server to be hardcore, self-explanatory. Just change the value from 0 to 1, and it's going to be hardcore. This is IW4 admin. Again, I do not really have a 24/7 server. This is more just for me and then anybody who does want to hop on the server. So I don't have any of the administrative tools, but I did include IW4 admin in the actual zip file for you to use if you are planning on hosting 24/7 to the public. Free-for-all game settings. So these are all of your game type settings. So free-for-all, as you can see here, we have the score limit 50, time limit 10. You can change any of these here. It is very, very self-explanatory. War, that's going to be team deathmatch. I have that set to 100, yada, yada, yada. This game type and map list is going to be the game type and map list. So it'll show you the actual code for the game type here. So DM is free-for-all, war is team deathmatch, SD is search and destroy, etc. You get the point. I know you're not stupid. Now we have the map rotation. So this is where this is where downloading my configuration is going to help you a lot, because I have a very good map rotation. So for example, I have some custom ones here. Insane rotation is every single game mode and every single map. That is the insane rotation right here. Every single game mode, every single map. If you do want to use whatever list you want to use for your game rotation, for your game type rotation, all you need to do is, let's say that I want this to be a shipment only server, a free-for-all shipment only server. What you need to do is add the 2 forward slashes. So right here, it's going to tell you all MWR plus MW2 maps with TDM, domination, and KC. I don't know what KC is, but that's I digress. So this is what it's currently set to right now. So this is going to only rotate Modern Warfare Remastered maps, Modern Warfare 2 maps, Team Deathmatch, Domination, and KC. So that's what it's going to be set by default when you do create the server. Now, for the sake of today's video, let's just go ahead and do our free-for-all on shipment. So again, if you want to change your rotation, all you have to do is delete the forward slashes by the string of text. Okay, so now our server is going to be free-for-all shipment only, and that's all. Okay, next, obviously I have nuke ends game 0 here as well. So the next thing that you want to do is click the handy dandy little save icon right there. We can go ahead and close out of that, because next we are touching the scripts. So I did include a user scripts folder right in here for you. So that is going to obviously be inside of your game folder now. So we have user scripts. Wait, pause. Okay, I have two different scripts folders in here. This one is for H1M, so Modern Warfare Remastered. That's for my Modern Warfare Remastered server. I had to rename it. Again, if you do have two scripts, you will need to rename the H1M server script folder because it will get confused and try pulling scripts from H1M. Your server won't start. Everything gets nuked. Ugh, it sucks. Okay, so user scripts is going to be the scripts folder, MP, and right here we have two scripts right now. We've got Autobots, which is already inside of the user scripts for you, so you don't even have to touch it. However, if you want, inside of the Autobots here, unfortunately, I tried messing with the script to get it to rename the bots. That doesn't work, unfortunately. However, what you can do in here is the difficulty of the bots. So if we look right here, so we've got random difficulty. Now you can set this to really whatever you want. If you want to add more, all you have to do is come here. So we've got regular, recruit, we've got hardened, and we have veteran. Now this is going to be the exact format that you would need to do if you did want to add more. So now you're going to be randomly getting recruit, regular, hardened, and veteran, and it's going to fill the lobby with said difficulties. So that's all you can really do in the bot script. We're going to go ahead and close out of that. Then we're going to go into the nuke to Moab. You can leave this alone, okay? But like I mentioned, in the configuration file for the server, you can either turn off the nuke to Moab, so the nuke will end the game, right? Or you can have it be more of that MW3 style just by leaving that at the bottom of the configuration file as 0. So you can have it in the game, you can't have it in the game. Right out of the download, if you don't edit that, it is not going to end the game when a nuke gets called in. Anyways, that is practically it. Now we get to the worst part, arguably the worst part of this. So what we need to do is you need to go to your router settings. We're going to go ahead and log in. Allegedly, we're going to log in. Okay, let's go ahead and log into our router here. Go over to advanced. I don't want you guys to see any of this, so it needs to hurry up. You need to find your port forwarding / port triggering. Very easy. I'm going to show you guys exactly what to do. Okay, so we've got our MWR TCP, MWR UDP. Now, if you already have a pre-existing server set up on the port 27016, you're all set. So let's say that you need to add a port to forward. All right, what do we do? Bathtub, what do I do? All you need to do is click on some sort of like add service, add custom service. It's going to start it right up. Now, the one thing that you are going to need to do is make sure that your IP, so this is the IPv4, this is your machine's local IP. This is the IP that you need to forward. So just remember that. Mine's 192.168.1. Fuck off. Unfortunately, the Netgear software is very slow. Okay. So service name, what I would do just to keep it organized is I would say HMW UDP, because you do need to use both the TCP and UDP protocol to make sure that this forwards correctly. So we're going to start with UDP. Extremely easy. You should have a very similar setup to mine. So all you're going to have to do is import that IPv4 address that you found in your command prompt right here. And your external port range is going to be 27016 or 27017 if you did change that. So there is our port. Now we need to set this to either TCP or UDP. This is why I renamed them so that I don't have to go back and forth, reset a ton of things. So there is our UDP. All you have to do is click apply. I already have both of my ports forward for UDP and TCP protocol, so I'm set. But that is how you do it. You just save your progress, save save that port forward, and you're all set. So now, the moment you've all been waiting for, it's time to start up the server. So first, what I will say is you do need to launch HMW first before you launch the server, because HMW also uses command prompt to launch the game. So if you start the server first, HMW will not open. You'll be like, what the fuck? Why isn't it opening? But you can open it here. So this is our console right here. I'm just going to go ahead and leave this on while it's starting. As you can see here, we are hosting on port 27016. Successfully set the custom port. Successfully set custom port. Currently loading all the fast files. And I'm going to show you what to look out for if it is throwing an error or if it is successful. My God, it got really cloudy outside and dark. And now, of course, as soon as I change the lighting on the camera, now the sun's going to come back out. Okay. So our game has launched. Let's go ahead and check the command prompt really quick. Our server should be loaded here. So this is going to be our dedicated server. This is the actual game command prompt right here. This is the server. It's going to tell you, whatever you named it. Mine is, of course, Bathtub Smiles. So you're going to see most likely IP is set to default 0000. That is totally fine. You don't have to worry about that. The thing that you want to keep on the look for is you need to find something that says server started or sending heartbeat right here. Server started, rotating map, applying new game type, domination, shipment, yada yada. So this is that. This is that. If you can't find your server on the server list, it should be popping a ping way lower than the top server. It should be like in the 5, the single digit to the very, very low double digits. But there also is a chance that it's pinging at 999. So just turn that ping upside down. You're going to find your server. We are currently loading in. Let's just make sure everything works. You can see quadruple XP enabled in the bottom left. We're going to go ahead and pull out our gun. Let's make sure that we have... My keyboard just decided to disconnect. Once again, if you do have any issues, feel free to drop a comment below. Let me know what issues you are having. I will help you out to the best of my ability. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you found this video helpful. I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.